Hey everyone, this is my Star Wars Episode 8, The Last Jedi review. I know this is the one you've all been waiting for because, well, this is the best Star Wars movie out of all of them, right? Um, no other Star Wars movie was as polarizing as this one. This is probably the best reviewed one. 10 out of 10 easy. There's just too many great things to say about this movie. It was just so amazing. But on a brighter note, I'm going to start off by saying I didn't hate The Last Jedi when I first saw it. And after rewatching it today, I would probably give this a 7 out of 10. Yeah, that that's kind of high, probably to a lot of people. And the fact that that has a better score than The Phantom Menace and Attack of the Clones. It's not that this movie is bad. It's just poorly. It's not even poorly written. It's just it takes our character arcs from the first movie and completely. I don't even have a word for it. It just. I know Ryan Johnson wanted to divert our expectations. Is that what it was? I'm not okay. Back to that. That took up way too much time. Um, so I know Ryan Johnson wanted to divert our expectations with this movie and the character arcs of where we thought it was gonna go, and we can't really blame him because they knew there was gonna be a three-movie story to tell, and Disney did not have a solid plan. There was no actual character arcs of where all these people are going to start and end by the third movie. There was no structure. They have JJ started off with a pretty decent Star Wars film, and then it's just kind of like, here, you drive the car now, do whatever you want, and then this guy crashes the car according to the fans, and then they give it back to JJ, and he has to not only fix the car, but he has to continue driving the broken down car. Honestly, when they bought Star Wars or Lucasfilm, when Disney bought Lucasfilm and they were planning on making another trilogy, I know George Lucas was planning on making another trilogy, but they should have either used some of George's ideas or his basic outline of what he thought the sequel trilogy would be, or just got what is it, a focus group, is that, or they should have just gotten a team together to outline the broader strokes of this trilogy, because the going back and forth, because even before JJ was back on as director for 9, they had a third different actor who probably could have taken it a whole different way. I know he's still credited, I believe, for part of the story. Um, but I was just like, I don't know. Back to The Last Jedi. So, The Last Jedi, what did I give it, a 7? Yeah. Um, The Last Jedi wasn't a bad movie. It was maybe a bad Star Wars film. It was not a bad movie. I mean, it could have been any movie, but they just slapped the Star Wars title on it. And by diverting our expectations, I feel like that just not only did it split the fandom, but it created a lack of trust in the Star Wars fandom, because I feel like that affected Episode 9 so much on its reviews. I keep going back to 9. I'm excited for 9, guys. Okay, back to Last Jedi. I agree with many people that the whole side mission with Finn and Rose was unnecessary. They could have spent that, 20 to 30 minutes of the movie doing anything else with any other side characters, advancing the plot. And there's just things about this film, the whole running out of fuel. When does that ever happen in any of the 8 Star Wars movies except for this one? Like, when was that a thing? I've never heard of that in Star Wars. Not in even the Clone Wars, not in any of the other Star Wars properties. I feel like I've never heard that excuse. So for that to, like, I know it's the Resistance, they're on their like last leg, and it's like, But come on, like that's such a bad excuse. When has that ever been a thing in Star Wars? So those two things alone are kind of what killed the movie, I guess, for a lot of fans. Also, the Holdo maneuver towards the end of the film, when she just takes their cruiser and smashes through Lightspeed and through Snoke's ship, and a lot of fans felt like that broke Star Wars because of how Lightspeed and hyperspace is supposed to work. But I also see a way for it to actually be, I don't want to say ethical. I just see the way it works, the Holdo maneuver, as opposed to it not working and causing this hole in the movie. Because, you have, um, so I don't know how light speed works in real life because we don't really have light speed anywhere at all. But, so in like the Star Wars universe, light speed is, they're kind of like jumping through a hole, and that's why I think it's the original trilogy. Han is like making the calculations to jump to hyperspeed or light speed, whatever words you guys want to use. How long they're gonna go, like where they're gonna end up. They have to calculate all that because they kind of like jump through. It's not a wormhole, but it's a similar idea of, like, for example, Guardians of the Galaxy, how it breaks down and then they just zoom through something and then they end up somewhere else. That's kind of how it is. It's not, they're going through this whole space of line going from left to right or right to left on your screen. Um, they're not just going through everything like that. It's like I said, it's almost like a wormhole. But I can see it's like the beginning stages of that. You're obviously speeding up and you're not breaking into the like hole right away. So I could see that, but I feel like that's kind of a stretch. I don't know if that's how it would work in real life. I understand this is not real life. This is Star Wars. Um, and it's with technology we've never even come close to having. So I get that the Holdo maneuver works, but I just don't get it at the same time. Like, I understand how it could be plausible. It's like the beginning skip of light speed, but then again, I'm not a physicist. I wouldn't be able to explain to you how that works. I actually enjoyed The Last Jedi when it came out. I saw it once in the theaters. No, I think I saw it twice in the theaters. And I've watched it maybe when it was on Netflix. I watched it a few times, and I've watched it for sure once on Disney Plus. It's not my favorite Star Wars film. I do I do like certain aspects of it better than, say, like a Phantom Menace and Attack of the Clones. But it's just, I feel like with time and watching it and rewatching it, you just, those plot holes they become too much for you to, I don't want to say believe, but it just takes you out of the reality of the Star Wars universe, which, I mean, makes no sense because it's all fiction anyway. But from what we've come to learn up to this point, it's like, all right, well, you just broke the universe. You just made up your own rules. And honestly, in my opinion, I think Rey should have been related to either Luke or somebody besides Palpatine. I think that was just an easy way out, and like saying that she was nobody, because because anybody could be somebody or nobody could be somebody in like the universe. But I mean, this is the Skywalker like trilogy, and the only Skywalker left after this movie is on the dark side. So obviously they're gonna come back and be on the light side. That's kind of like the tradition with Vader. I don't want to say tradition, but that's just. I feel like if there would have been a second Skywalker on the light side, it would have made for a better film. Or even if she was like a Kenobi or something, there's easier ways to like bring Rey in, I feel, as like some important character other than a Palpatine. Spoilers for episode 9. But anyway, I've done enough babbling on, and can't wait for Rise of Skywalker to drop at midnight. I don't know if I'll watch it at midnight if I'm awake, but I can't wait to watch it. I'm praying that there's the JJ cut on Disney Plus. I know there's probably like a 99% chance that it won't be, but that'd be really nice to have like that 3 hour long plus cut of the movie. But knowing Disney, it won't be. Um, but yeah, I'll catch you guys next time. I'll try and upload The Force Awakens and this review tomorrow morning. May or may not record the Rise of Skywalker tonight if I stay up for the movie. And I got some other movie reviews coming out after these are all done. So just stay tuned and see what I got next. Thank you guys. Hey everyone, I'm here by myself. That joke again. Real original, buddy. Hey everyone, I'm just gonna say here by myself again.